Well, thank you everyone who's joining us today. My name is Chris Bashford. I'm the president of the Activist Group, and welcome to Retire Higher Podcast, powered by Activist. Today we have got one of our great affiliate partners. It is Miss Anissa Anthimiades with Golden Year Solutions. And so we're here to talk really to the agents today. It happens to be uh, mid-July, and so July to me is that opportunity for the traditional Medicare agent to kind of get their stuff together, right? We know that the national test of AHIP has dropped, and so now the Medicare carriers are beginning to load their certifications in place. All of us are running around trying to get all this stuff put together, and so we want to kind of today kind of shed some light on the amount of work that actually goes into preparing to serve our communities. And we happen to be in Arizona, but we serve communities nationwide, and so no longer is it just about where you immediately are in basically a 10-mile radius. People need assistance all over our great country, and so we want to shed light on how we go about doing a little bit of that for those of you guys who are agents out there. So first of all, welcome, Anissa. Thanks for
Thank
joining me
you. Thanks for
today.
having me.
Yeah,
It's
and
so fun.
so Anissa, you've been a great friend of the Activist Group for a while.
Yeah.
We've known each other for a good amount of time, and so everyone we talk about AEP starting October 15th.
Yeah.
And that annual enrollment period is very critical for, of course, all the Medicare folks out there and for our seniors. But we know this starts now, right?
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
know we're only about 90 or so days away.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like, hey, what goes on? So let me first of all ask you your question. How do you begin looking now this it's mid-year? How do you begin looking at AEP and preparing for it? Just generally first.
Um, Overwhelming.
Yeah.
No. I mean, yeah, I feel like by the time June comes, it's really go time as an agent to get organized and prepared. And so it also helps make it less overwhelming
Hmm.
to not wait till the last minute, obviously, and try to cram everything in right before, it starts. I mean, obviously, October 15th is go time, but that's really go time for our clients. We have to obviously be prepared way ahead of that. So I really start looking at it in June to just start to kind of come up with what my strategy is going to be for this year, what my plan is going to be. I really look at my last year as well to just kind of see how I can improve, obviously, on that. What worked last year for me the best, what didn't, maybe what I felt like I was missing. So I can kind of streamline it and correct that for the coming year, and really also be better prepared for my clients, of course, so that it's just a seamless transition for them and process, I guess, because it's really difficult if you've got, hundreds or thousands of clients, some
Yeah.
of us, to figure out how to speak to people in 45-day period, and get in touch with everyone. So I kind of sprinkle in a little bit of that throughout the year as I'm touching clients and kind of putting a little responsibility on them to kind of let them know about their ANOC and what to do with that when it comes and how to reach out to me. And really building that pipeline throughout the year. So when June comes, I really look at what that pipeline for October looks like already on my books, and then kind of start building, a plan to support what's already there, but what I know is coming and, what I need to do, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yes. I know
Yeah.
you have generally in our history, you like doing seminars.
Yeah.
And you look for both public locations as well as private venues to go ahead and reach out to. Tell us a little about your seminar preparation.
Yeah, I love my seminar. So, as far as what my outline for my AEP prep is I always get that, those seminar dates, in as quick as I can. I partner with, I really think, again, to not try to do so much. I think a lot of agents spread themselves thin in that way. I really try to have a couple anchors in some, key
Explain
communities,
that, anchors.
just like an anchor community area that works for you, but then also one that's outside of like your immediate area as well, that you have partnered and found, a good community center that has been flexible and is,
Niche. Yeah.
yeah, has a really good, obviously amount of people that, need your services in the area would, obviously work the best. So it takes a little bit of testing and trial and error, of course. So I think at first, if you're starting out with seminars, you kind of have to book a couple, in all bunch of different areas to see which ones, again, become your anchors. They will just kind of show themselves
Yeah, it's not
essentially.
automatic. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really trial and error. And so that took a little while. So now I've got my two. I feel like that really works for me right now, just for me personally, not my agency. I've got, more in, extended communities that are going to be my agents under me. They're, anchors. So I'll visit some of those as well. But really, just for me and my own personal production, I'm focusing on two. And then I really try to get in at least, I would say 15 at the minimum, but I try to shoot for 20 events if I and really by June, July, you have to have those conversations with those, or the activities director,
Yeah. Yeah.
to
To
see
get
what's
on the calendar.
available,
Yeah.
because those calendars really do fill up
Yeah.
very quickly for them. So that's something I learned to do very much first, at the very least, to get those dates booked, so that, you're not missing opportunity there, but also you can then fill in your calendar around your seminars after that. And you really see, where you have time for your, annual reviews and booking, your one-on-one appointments and, having more of that phone time where you're not out in the field. So, and then also where you have time for community events, not just the seminars that you're
That's a great
booking.
distinction.
Yeah.
Let me make sure. So
Yeah.
what you're saying is that you definitely are going to take care of your current book of business, the people that already know you, love you, you've
Yeah.
got policies in force with, and you try to create a strategy to reach out to them to get them
Mm-hmm.
their ANOC documentation. Try to find out, hey, this is when I plan on coming in and
Yeah.
visiting with you. In particular, that first 2 weeks, like October 1st through 14th, you can't sell plans, but you can go and meet with people and set up these
Yeah.
events to give information. But then after that,
Mm-hmm.
you're saying that you find anchor locations
Mm-hmm.
so that you can actually go into those communities. I have to assume they're rural, all
Right.
right. And so part of the support for those things is finding community events
Mm-hmm.
outside of any event that you're hosting, and
Yes.
just try to become a fabric of
Right.
that community.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And even other communities, if you just find events that are going to be, best suiting for, the demographic you're looking for, or
Like
the
home shows
area, or
or
yeah,
things going on
yeah,
in that market.
exactly.
Yeah, and
That
being
are
a part of that.
not seminar based, but it's you're getting out into the community.
Yeah.
And again, you can even test other markets that way too and see, oh, I
Good
this was a
point.
really great show. And I feel like then you can use those shows to almost direct you to another community that might need another anchor, where you find another community center or senior community that will let you get on, their calendar. So, that I think that's just kind of my strategy every year. I sprinkle in those community events to see if there's something that kind of grows from that. And then I find a new anchor, or maybe I find a new anchor for, one of my agents that needs
Yeah.
an anchor or something, another event space to, create.
Let's actually talk a little bit about how you reach out and help your downline agents. So,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, I have to say, and I know this, and before our audience, you have like 39 licenses.
Yeah.
There's close to 40 different
39 states.
states.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that you're
funny.
you're
39. I haven't quite got to
you haven't
40.
got
I
to
don't
40
know
yet. Yeah,
why.
but that's
Just
lot of states.
leaving it 39. Yeah,
And
all
so
over.
somebody might ask, well, why does she have 39 states? It's
Yeah.
because you spend a lot of time
Hmm.
on the telephone.
Yeah,
And
right.
so
So,
you have a book of business that's across the country.
yeah.
Tell me about what your approach is in order to prepare those folks as well that are
Yeah.
outside your immediate area where you can actually drive to.
Yeah.
How are you managing that?
Yeah, so I really start with my current book of business, which is again going to combine all of those states and all those people. Those are my main focus to make sure that I can get them updated and get them the, FaceTime or, on the phone time that they need. So I really focus on my marketing approach for the year, again, June, July, to get kind of that organized, that some sort of campaign. Last year, I just did one of those voicemail campaigns. This year, I'm probably going to do the same thing. It was actually really helpful. I've done email campaigns in the past. That hasn't really seemed to reach people, just
Mm.
don't read their emails. I'm the same way. I literally delete everything. I don't even look at it half
You
the
get it?
time.
Yeah, that's the world we live in.
So it's just so it's over information overload. So they want to hear your voice. They recognize
Mm.
you. It just sends them a voicemail, lets them kind of know, reminds them this is that time of year, and if they have any questions or concerns or just want to touch base, then to go ahead and call and reach out. I did that last year in September, and I got like 100 calls in my first day, so that was a little crazy,
That
but at the
is.
same time it was so efficient that I was able to fill my books for October and November and December all the way up to December 7th, to with my existing clients. So even if I couldn't be on the phone with them because I was outside for a seminar or event or whatever it was, I have, an assistant that's able to help get the information and, the questions and concerns. And then I can, reach back out and follow up. So that's definitely, how I handle that is really more like the marketing strategy that I'm going to use for reaching out to them, whatever that work, is for you. I think every business is different.
Sure.
Again, mine is based mainly on the phone, so maybe that's why um, the voicemail worked good for my clients. I don't know, but starting out, you could do a little bit of everything, really.
Mm. Just trial and
Email,
error.
yeah,
Basically, you just kind
yeah,
of
it's
figure it
just
out.
some sort of
Sure.
touch point. And then, like I said, I really am a big proponent of educating, and preparing my clients throughout the year. So everybody I'm speaking to throughout the year kind of already has this in the background and knows that this is approaching and that they're going to contact me. So that's also helpful. So when they get that email or maybe that voicemail or maybe not at all, they still are kind of coached already that it is their responsibility to reach out to me during that time
Yeah.
frame because there is a deadline,
So this is a multivariate approach, and it doesn't matter where they're local or whether they're outside the
Yeah.
state or what have you. You're
Hmm.
putting together a strategy to make sure you're reaching out to them. Again, we're 90 days or so away
Yeah.
right now, so you're starting that campaign
Yeah.
now to do that. Let me ask you this: in order to do that, obviously it's not cheap, right? And
Yeah.
so you have to begin to plan, and you got to have some money to do it.
Hmm.
We're your FMO, and
Hmm.
so we want to
Hmm.
support you. For others out there, as far
Hmm.
as hey, how do you get support? What are the different things that you look for, and from the people that you're partnering with to kind
Yeah.
of
The
to
FMO.
help you with respect to that? Just kind of generally, what do you think with a good FMO? How can we assist our agents?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think that every FMO should definitely have some sort of approach with marketing co op dollars to help every agent. It doesn't matter what level they are. I
Mhm.
think that's been something that I've noticed as a problem in the industry when it comes to, you've got all these senior agents that have these big books of business that pretty much seems like that's where all the money goes to. And you have to kind of like earn your keep until you
Mhm.
get to that certain level and you have a certain amount of sales, then you're getting more, which doesn't really help or
Yeah,
partner
if you're trying
well
to get up going, yeah,
with helping people grow,
Mhm.
obviously. So that I think is frustrating. I think really FMOs should focus more on the people that don't, so that they can put those marketing dollars better to use to help those agents that are really starting out, starting to grow. That's who really needs the help. And I'm not saying that people that have these big books of business don't, and maybe they have earned, a
Sure.
seniority to a degree, but there should be like a cap, and there should be maybe like 50% of FMO's, marketing dollars are going towards the senior, people, the seniority people. And then over here, it's dispersed, the other 50%, so that we feel like we have that support and we're not like forgotten about in a sense. And, so
Yeah.
really
Just to figure, just
these,
kind of
yeah.
to couple that, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
as being in an FMO, what I will say, if you're out there and you're struggling to get going, just know that your FMO should be prepared to assist you. Now, They might not give you the farm as you know was
Mhm.
Anissa points out, not up front. But if you come with a plan
Yes.
of how you're going to market and promote yourself and to present the products based on the contracts that are represented, that's going to help you out. Having your own little business
Mhm.
plan of what you're going to do between now and AEP, and then during AEP,
Yeah.
how you plan to promote yourself, that's going to change the way, the carrier reps, the way
Yeah.
the FMO is going to look at you. You can't just say, come in with your hand out and say, hey, I don't
Yeah.
have a plan.
Yeah.
That's not going to work.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it
Yeah.
does take the preparation.
Right.
It does take the actual thoughts to go through that. And here at Activist Group, we
Yeah.
certainly try to do that. I mean, I
Yeah.
know we have T65 lists. We'll share in co-op does. We will share in events. And so those are definitely things that we want to do.
Yeah.
Uh, just to kind of to spin this off though, let's look at it kind of, since we are just 30 days away. Let's take it month by month. So here we're in the middle of July. What are you
Mhm.
focused on right now in July?
Well, I've got my dates picked out for my seminars, and now I'm focusing on getting the, flyers and that marketing out to those communities so that they can get those, you know, um, flyers and, sent out in the timely manner, because they always need those ahead. And that takes a little bit of time
Sure.
sometimes, depending on how you're developing them. We have a lot of support at Aquavis for marketing and branding your own and making it, basically free. So that's really nice and helpful. So that's one of the ways. I would say the other way, just to kind of backtrack a second on what you had asked me, is the support. Specifically, we're talking about money for these seminars. It's expensive,
Mm.
and you've got sometimes, food and beverage that you
Yeah.
want to add in there, depending on, again, the community and the event space and, what you're doing. And then these, email blasts or voicemail blasts, there's lots of different options for those that you can keep your costs down, but it's still nice to know, like, the FMO is your partner. It should be your partner. And if you are in an FMO that's not offering you support or helping you when you do come with a plan, you should definitely be finding another FMO
Yeah.
because you don't have a partner, and that is what it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be you just out here on your own figuring it all out as you go. So I do, appreciate and love that about, being partners, because we do have that support, and I can come to you and brainstorm with different
Yeah.
ideas,
Yeah.
as
For
well.
sure.
And you
We
always
welcome that.
have a way to find support for those ideas. It's obviously not going to be 100%, but it's a partnership. It's not supposed to be. So I think that, yeah, so basically you're just getting my marketing out to those communities so that's just done off my plate. And then they're the ones that are in control of that at
Promotion.
that point.
Okay.
Then also partnering with you on our separate marketing, and finding communities that will allow you to market to outside residents that are in that area and community that can come to that
General
event.
public. Yeah.
And the general public is a huge thing, because a lot of times they won't let you do that. I would say try to stay away from those communities, because then you're kind of victim to how they do their marketing,
Right.
and only the community and the way they do their marketing, which your business and event is not their main priority. Really, they just want the money for
Yeah.
you holding the event, and that's fine. But having that support from you to help with that general public marketing. So then we come up with a strategy now that you've got all of the dates for my seminars here, as my flyers, and then you're going to be able to help market that on the back end as well, which is huge.
As you get closer
Yeah,
to AEP, so we're
yeah,
saying, let's just say mid-August.
yeah,
Let's assume AHIP has been done. Let's
yeah.
assume that most, if not all, your product certifications are
Hmm.
completed. How should the agent now begin to process whatever work has been done?
Like, execute that.
Yeah. How do you
Yeah.
see
So I was
that?
going to say, you asked about July. I was going to say my August is, I'm really just focusing on getting all of my AHIP and all my certifications done. So again, like, little bits at a time, so it doesn't become overwhelming. Like, have a month to focus on each one of these, because it's
Okay.
going to take that time.
It
So
will. Yeah.
you've got all of that marketing, you've got your plan, everything's done by July. You kind of started that in June. Now August comes, all the certifications, all of it, and even like your CEs, because there's no
Yeah.
reason to wait
For sure.
till the
Yeah.
end of the year to do that. You're going to be still doing and finalizing so much business that came from AEP
By the
the
way,
end of December.
by the AHIP CE uh, uh, credits.
Oh, yeah,
Get them. Why not?
exactly.
It's eight
Well,
hours
and
in most
that's why,
states.
yeah, and that's
Get it.
exactly why
Yeah.
I kind of combined it. Like, if it's your year to do CEs, then, I always buy that every year anyway
Yeah.
because it adds to it. But then just get those out of the way. So it's just like kind of all a training certification month.
Okay.
And it's also kind of relaxing that way too, because you're just focused on that. And then, by the time that's done, now September is my kind of go time where I start pushing the trigger on the marketing.
Mhm.
So I do that voicemail or email or whatever it is
Got it.
to my existing clients in September, literally the 1st of September, because it's amazing how long it takes to obviously get everyone's attention, touch them, but also schedule and get that on the calendar
Yeah.
and mix that in and organize it around what you already now have on there from the year that you were putting things for your pipeline
Hmm.
and also these events that you've scheduled. So I would say um, that's what my September is really just getting out to all the existing clients and scheduling those,
Get those
renewal,
appointments
those
ready. Yeah.
annual, reviews
Are
and
you doing those?
prescription drug plan, reviews and all
Yeah.
that.
Oh, for sure. The PDPs. Oh.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
are you booking your appointments with your current folks? Are you doing that through group meetings, group webinars, one-on-ones, Zooms, or go-to meetings? And,
For,
and then when is it October 1st and going hard
yeah,
through the 15th? How do you
Yeah.
handle that? How do you manage that?
So, I mean, honestly, I think that I started last year with booking as of October 1st. And then
Hmm.
that gave me a good 2 week jump on scheduling people that I was able to differentiate and find out they do need the help. We do need to do a new application and then put them on for October 15th. Um, so I really got through pretty much my whole clientele in a 2 week period. I mean, I forgot to schedule a lunch, by the way, or any time off,
Hmm.
which I know
Yeah.
now this year I will be doing. But that first 2 weeks was literally
Mhm.
7 a.m. until 7 p.m. I had
Mhm.
back to back, appointments booked for everybody. And then I was really able to just make sure that I got everyone scheduled for the 15th. And then that's where it just was focused on obviously application process,
Yeah.
seminars, new business, and, executing kind of all of that. And of course, you have those other people trickling in throughout that, but that's
Mhm.
where it was like they knew they were kind of late to call me
Right.
and I was able to fit them in. However, now this year I'm going to have an assistant that's going to be doing all of my prescription drugs because
Yeah.
it's too much this year
Yeah. Yeah.
and I have too many more events this year. And now, with having agents under me and needing to help support them and their events as well, it's just going to be spread a little too thin.
Yeah.
But that was the part of the plan was to
Yeah.
just add that in
You
and
know
get
what?
more organized.
And you got a great point. You got to leave yourself enough room to uh, have lunch,
Yeah,
definitely,
yeah,
but then also be able to be a support to the others around you.
mm-hmm,
And I think that's a critical piece to that. If you're working within an agency model, then you want to make
yeah,
sure that you are thinking with that group because they can make your
mm-hmm,
job a whole lot easier,
yeah,
with groupthink. I
right,
think there's some great opportunity there. It's good to hear that you're getting some help, and of course, Activist wants to be a support to you in that,
yeah,
not just financially and planning wise, but any way to help run,
yeah. The
get
brainstorming
material, yeah,
is
the
just
brainstorming,
like
get materials
huge.
to you, get coordinating with the area reps and what have you from the
Yeah,
carriers to get you coordinated. Which, by the way, I mean we're at that point now.
mm-hmm,
This, yeah, I will say that it is. I got some information that it says that early indications say that there's going to be about 335 different plans that will end
yeah,
this year.
yeah,
So plan exit
mm-hmm,
wise, that is going to create disruption amongst about 2.7 million
yeah,
Medicare Advantage members.
mm-hmm,
So this is going to be a very
yeah,
turbulent and
yeah,
active year. And
yeah,
so the earlier you begin to get your stuff together, the better it will be for you. And so let me just talk to you guys who are out there. If you are looking for a partner that can help you with these things, we hope that you'll take a look at Activus. You can
yeah.
find us at theactivusgroup.com. That is Activus spelled ACCLIVUS.com, theactivusgroup.com. And you can certainly send us information about yourself to info@theactivusgroup.com or info@activus.us. We have different tools and resources available to you. We'd be more than happy to talk to you. And we wish you absolutely the best as you plan for this upcoming AEP season. It's going to be a busy one. I want to thank our guests, Anissa and
Thank you.
Anthimiades with Golden Year Solutions and Gilbert. And
Yeah.
so thank you for being here. Any parting comments?
Yeah, I would just say remember to hydrate. I'm getting myself hydration
Hey,
packets because I forget to drink water when I'm talking for 12 hours a day. And I'm going to do a meal prep this year, like not my own cooking. I'm going to actually do a meal service where I
wow.
just have those 10 weeks. I've got like 2 meals at least that are like just ready to go.
Good
It's
idea.
amazing how it like really helps the efficiency with all of that. So,
Absolutely good idea.
yeah.
Yeah,
So just little tricks of the trade there for sure. But
indeed,
thank you
indeed.
for having me and
Oh,
for all of your continued support. I wouldn't be able to do my business without you.
we
And
appreciate you and thank you
yeah.
all. Well, then, everybody, we again, this is the Retire Hire podcast powered by Activist. We appreciate you being here. We'll see you next time.